Hi, I'm James Headley, and welcome back to the Living in Naples channel. If you've watched more than a few of my videos here on the channel, you know that I see Zillow and its brethren among the large real estate search sites as double-edged swords. Their reliance on pricing algorithms that can be wildly inaccurate, as evidenced by Zillow's failure to make money as an active participant in the COVID-era real estate market, too often leads to buyers and sellers operating under false assumptions about home values, for example. However, on the plus side, the sheer amount of site traffic on portals like Zillow occasionally yields some interesting data. In my next two episodes, beginning with today's, I'm going to take a look at the top search terms that Zillow users employed in 2023. I believe this can be useful to buyers and sellers in Southwest Florida because if you know what your fellow participants in the local real estate market are interested in, it can only help you to be a better negotiator. Before doing so, though, let me thank you for subscribing, sharing, and liking, and I really appreciate that and hope you will continue to do so. So turning to the most recent Zillow data, 2023 was actually also the beginning of Zillow's integration of artificial intelligence into its search function. So this list of top 10 search terms gives us some additional nuance in terms of not just what prospective buyers were searching for, but what it was about them that's appealing. Starting with the first of these, which was a garage. And the more nuance to there was a practical and convenient vehicle storage space. Straightforward one here, right? But what should we be thinking about garages in the context of Naples and Marco Island real estate? First and foremost, I would say, does the house or condo, and most likely the latter, as a Southwest Florida home without a garage is definitely the exception, have a garage, or does it have a dedicated parking space or spaces or a carport perhaps? If it's a garage, is it an attached or detached garage? How many spaces? Is it air conditioned? Pending your circumstances, any or all of these things may be really important to you or not. Or you may not realize how important they are until it's too late, i.e. that 20-yard walk from your dedicated carport space to the condo elevator might not be a big deal on a perfect 75-degree day in early February, but what about when you return from a shopping trip loaded with bags and it's in the 90s, or it's in the midst of one of our great Southwest Florida pop-up thunderstorms? That brings us to number two, and that's a backyard, a private outdoor retreat. With our preponderance of planned communities in Southwest Florida, those private backyards that many might be envisioning, especially if you're coming from older, more traditional northern suburbs, and especially rural areas, those probably aren't going to be a reality when you get to Southwest Florida. Developers aim to maximize the available land in most of these planned communities, so even larger single-family homes aren't going to have much of a yard to speak of in any but the highest-end developments or in non-HOA communities. So with the bar set there, the question becomes, first and foremost, can you live without all that green space of your own? And if you can, then it becomes a matter of degree. How are houses oriented, for example? Getting a pie-shaped lot on a corner lot will likely afford you more room to roam than a house in the middle of a street. Of course, Southwest Florida gives you some different trade-offs for that backyard, which we will get to further down the list. Speaking of further down the list, number three was a fireplace. Warmth and coziness in the further nuance of the natural language search. While you may find a fireplace here and there, given that the warmth and coziness comes from the inviting climate year-round that is so appealing to you if you're thinking about moving to Southwest Florida, this isn't an amenity that's likely to swing a lot of decisions on homes in the area, given that they're generally absent in most homes. So you're still comparing apples to apples, or the absence of fireplaces to the absence of fireplaces. Moving on to number four then, it's a walk-in closet, space and organization for storage. Unlike fireplaces, closet space is pretty much a universal want for buyers. While you may be ditching a lot of the winter clothes and perhaps business attire if your move to Naples or Marco coincides with retirement, as it does for so many, you will still need room for those golf and tennis shirts, shorts, or skirts, so keep that in mind. And pending the garage discussion from earlier, you might need that extra closet space for your clubs, rackets, etc. So keep that in mind as well as you evaluate the storage space in your new home. The good news is that builders have generally put a premium at least on primary bedroom closet space for many years now, so you can expect some good closet space there in the master. That brings us to number 5, and that's a patio, or an extension of indoor living for outdoor relaxation. Now we're talking something truly central to many buyers' wish lists in Southwest Florida, especially those not in the market for a condo. While we talk about them more as lanais than patios generally, I definitely encourage you to think about the outdoor living space at least equally to the interior space when considering a home in Southwest Florida. And trust me, you will spend a lot of time outdoors, so think about things like, what's the orientation to the sun? Is there a pool? Hot tub, outdoor kitchen, room to dine, room to entertain. How is the flow from inside to outside? Are there disappearing sliders, for example? These are just some of the questions you may want to consider when evaluating patios in the area. Well, let's stop there for today. Next week, I will pick up with the remainder of this top 10 search terms list. And until then, thanks again for liking, subscribing, and sharing. And please reach out anytime if I can be of help.